Ah, now getting to the plasmid laboratory. And just to see that. Yep, they are. Sophia Lamb is, well, she's got a grand plan, but I don't think anybody would quite much agree upon that plan or the chosen methods would be anything good or even halfway good.
I was to be Sofia Lamb's greatest achievement, a living composite of all Rapture's genius in the body of a single man, unfettered by self-interest. Now, I am nothing more to her than a failed experiment. My scores on tests of intelligence and moral reasoning are still noteworthy, but declining sharply. She has abandoned me, and I do not have long before psychosis takes me.
Alright, I think I found the plasmid laboratory. I wonder, does this end the level? Most likely not, because this is just the airlock. And there's still 2 little sisters on this level unfound, and checking of map also makes it. But I wonder that removing all the controls about what kind of research they could do, and ethics and all the testing, and we're gonna say all the control about scientific things in Rapture, in a sense, might have hastened progress in certain directions, but most likely did not actually make any more really effective progress in here. Yeah, that's very destroyed. And I wonder, where does I know the splicer population, even though it most likely should have been quite much dwindling, unless of course people are still born in here.
As I recall from my time doing business with the owners, that oxyfill station out there is just a front for a kinda hidden passage leading down below. If Lamb's hiding Eleanor from you, that's where she'll be.
Well, Sinclair this far doesn't. This far Sinclair has spoken true, been open about yes, he wants to earn money with plasmids and all that fancy stuff around here. Mostly because with that way, well, anybody with this kind of information around here would go be rich beyond, well, rich beyond you can imagine. And well, yeah.
I'm afraid the lights in here sting my eyes terribly now. Until you arrive to deal with me, they will remain off. Please, locate the breakers and flip them, and then return here to restore power.
Alright, and I'm quite certain that there is not much combat in the darkness. Mostly because on the basic style, how gameplay works usually is that especially in this kind of games, the enemies are not hampered by things like darkness or smoke or anything like that, because they can see you fine through all the visual obstructions and all that, while the player cannot see through them. Which of course makes all the visual, basically, things to make things more invisible or hard to notice through smoke or camouflage patterns in gaming, at least against the basic enemies, usually absolutely useless. And I don't think that's a in a sense. Well, it can work with the gameplay, nothing about that. But if game has some things like camouflage and all that, it's really jarring when it doesn't work, or better say when it doesn't have any effect. Mostly because they probably have to program has to be specifically programmed it to be something like enemy aim going worse, or some. Of course, if the game is something like a usually in the more tactical style of gameplay, then where the mechanics of hitting things are usually much more clearly numbered. Smoke and all that kind of things can be made much more useful and in a sense realistic things. And there it is.
Sophia believes the perfect human altruist is just a formula waiting on us to solve for X. Intelligence and consciousness are not the same, she argued. Awareness of self naturally becomes obsession with it. So, if we could suppress my sense of self, but imbue me with the cognitive capacity to serve the common welfare, we could thereby generate the first utopian. And then, Sophia said, at long last, utopia would follow.
That plan she had, despite being in a sense logical, is batshit crazy. It would be just that everybody would have to be that simultaneously.
And I knew that to create the first true utopian would come at a high cost, my friend. We needed someone to be host to all that Adam, Rapture's finest minds, a willing subject, that is to say, myself.
Oh, so he will say most likely he did not do these kind of it's always interesting in fiction that when you have somebody like something mad scientist,
whatever you may have seen inside the tank, that was indeed me. I fear the fate of Sofia Lamb will be less physical, but no less grotesque. This tank for deep sea life is the ideal way to dispose of me. But first, you must retrieve enough Adam-infused plant life to lure me out. The slugs feed on the stuff, and it's all I seem to want now. I have left a sample here, so you know what to look for.
Real interesting. Where are the plant? Well, real fuel definitely useful.
Dr. Alexander has agreed to accept both measures of the new utopian project. He will become a kind of genetic chimera, host to all the minds of Rapture, accessing their talents and memories via the Adam we have gathered. And deriving in part from Project WYK, I have developed a new set of behavioral constraints. Dr. Alexander will live to promote the common good. His love and loyalty shall be spread evenly across the entire human race. For me, that is discipline at great personal cost. For him, at last, it will be instinct.
There's one thing which can be said about Sofia Lamb. She's not greedy. Frank Fontaine was greedy. She's not delusional utopist. That was Andrew Ryan and both Fontaine and.
I see you out there, Delta. You want to be top man? You want to sit in the big chair? Well, come and take it.
Oh yeah, luckily I can make them fight against each other. And put out the fire, make a fire go. Come on, keep fighting, morons. The more you fight against each other, the better I can handle you out.
Well, listen, son, those override keys you've been hunting are genetically encoded. And to get to Eleanor, you're gonna need one from Alex the Great in there. First things first, we gotta pin him down. Find those plants he mentioned, and lure him back out.
Well, it's always like in this kind of things, you could see that despite whatever is the plan, and Sofia Lamb's plan appears in a sense altruistic, but seeing how ruthlessly she's driving it to happen, there isn't much of, you could say, altruism in her. It's just about as ruthless and well, I didn't throw him, I just smacked him over the head with it. And there's a camera. Let's use the remote hack tool. It's quite handy. And just use the rivet gun. Nothing to particularly interest here, except, well, I have to of course keep getting forward. Gene bank to alter some of my.
Well, that's the end of the Alpha series. The pair bond simply worked too well. That madwoman Tannenbaum bit the company hand, turning some of the bonded sisters human again. Others were lost to splicers. Either way, the trauma proved too much for the bonded protectors, resulting in unreasoning rage or coma. We can harness their suicidal aggression as foot soldiers, but no more, I'm afraid. Today I saw one kneeling near a gatherer's garden and crying.
Oh yeah, Alpha series. Good. An attempt to get the little sisters bond with the little sisters. It works, but the little sister dying makes them homicidally berserk. Not something you wish to have. They don't work because, hey, maybe little sisters are easier to get than the big daddies. So they had to do some product development work.
We can't have you running around the laboratories in your condition.
Alright. Oops. They want to freeze me. Come here, orb. Yeah, you are history. I don't like having to deal. Just a splicer.
Poor things. What a life. Marching around, playing daddy, until some splicer manages to kill off their sister. And then if the coma doesn't take them, they turn maniac. Nothing left to do but scream. No offense intended, son. We better get you to Eleanor on the double.
That's actually...
Your body begins to tear itself apart. The compulsion to find Eleanor will drive you to madness or coma. You have no claim on her. Your design was among Rapture's greatest sins. And yet, you persist. Why?
Because that crazy crowd called Dr. Tenenbaum did manage when he took the deltas, you could say the basic pattern of delta, it became there's me and there's the bullets. Doesn't it notice me? Oh yeah. Come on. Alright, what's hurting me? Oh, these things. I apparently can't. And I'm gonna rip you apart. And of course, while I was fighting Big Daddy, also our fucking splicer showed up. They are nasty ones. But I do take care of you. And it's a real great by the designers that that little sisters are impervious to damage. Otherwise it would be completely, it would most likely be something about akin to impossible to try to capture them without there being corpses. And I have to do the fetch myself some first aid kits and put the little sister to do the gathering works. So that which means also I get to save. That was quiet. That was the basic method of planning. Put the sister down, fight against the cockroaches, and that's it, and that solves the problem. And well, yeah, there's a corpse over there, and most likely also some. Oh, is it in that Alpha series corpse? Yep. Yeah, it must be that the Alpha series corpses also carry Adam. Yeah, I'm gonna make you serve me. And of course the explosion broke down the health station.
We found it.
Quite annoying. But luckily there was the one in this box. So, you do your work, sister. And I must say that the Alpha series, despite even the basic splicers being quite tragic in a sense that most of them, well, hard to say that did the splicers come into existence only after the Raptures went to civil war, or were they before that? Hard to say. But there is a clear, you can say, amount of tragedy in them all, as in that there's rioting and superpowered sociopaths are running about. So only way you can stop them is by getting your own superpowers as well. Even though you may know that it's gonna cost you, especially mentally. Shit. Mini turret. Oh, I saw. Alright, was it some sort of...
He's nicer than other daddies.
Oh, it's weird. That little sister Big Daddy just wandered in here completely by chance, and it wound up right into the battlefield. So now I managed to subdue a little Big Daddy for my own unpleasant, horrifying needs, just by chance. Quite weird chance, but still. Well, at least makes it easier to find the next one. Handy little side event.
Ask yourself, Mr. Meltzer, is it better to be summarily executed as an outsider caught within these grounds, or to be united not just with your daughter Cindy, but with the Rapture family as well? The choice is yours. I urge you to accept the Protector program. You will live by her side, and remember nothing beyond your love for her.
I wasn't the first to find Rapture, you crazy bitch. And I won't be the last. You do whatever you want to me. As long as I'm with Cindy, I'm a happy man.
So, Mark Meltzer was found. He was caught and made into a Big Daddy. And I just killed him. Without even knowing. I just saw. Which means that little sister I just adopted was Cindy Meltzer. That kind of little details that they don't necessarily, it is not explicitly said, but it's very strongly implied.
This is where they bound us together, Father. Playing God. You were the only good thing that Rapture ever gave me.
But time to get a couple of and do your work, Cindy. Come on, don't walk into that, you little big thing. Good. It's really strange that as I now think about it. Do the that does the basic. That wins a matter of the basic. Yeah, she's drinking all strawberry juice. Let's go, Cindy.
You always save me from the monsters.
And that kind of little details about.
She was not meant to have a father, Delta. She was to be an heir to my life's work. And this is where they changed her, bonding her to you. The child she was died in this room.
So this room and this place is where subject Delta was born. That's in a sense beautiful, yet also horrifying little detail that there is. Yeah, you serve me well.
Mother has destroyed Dr. Alexander. She tried to splice him into some kind of living saint who would calculate the common good and adhere to it tirelessly. But now he's become something unspeakable. Mother's philosophy is just as corrupt as Ryan's. By her standards, it would be better to have the entire world equally miserable than to allow us to strive in our own behalf. I have to get out of here.
So it's quite obvious that even there's a splicer here.
Who are you? What are you? Get away from here! Surprise!
Fucking Houdini. But that rumbling is a big daddy walking about. Can't I smash that? Let's check the map. No, oh. Oh, I wonder, can I use explosives to blow that obstacle? No? Well, at least I found a way to get in here. And that room is very thoroughly put into ice. Let's try to use the incinerate plasmid to melt it. Yep, it works. And let's try telekinesis. Oh damn, that doesn't seem to work. And I really wonder how in hell, why would they... Well, when it's a matter of Rapture, it's something that don't ask why something would be done in Rapture. That kind of questions are simply ignored. They were ignored right at the beginning, and they are ignored afterwards too. Well, now I have the plants.
All right, sport. Time to feed the fish. Head on back to Alexander's tank and put those plants in.
Well, that and the safe. Yeah.
Don't let him get me, Daddy!
Yeah, Dr. Holcroft's Cure All. Most likely some sort of franchise within Rapture. Although, as much as I can say about Rapture being anything, it's...
I visited Eve's garden today. It ended poorly. My seed, sold to the enemy. The motive of the whore as yet eludes me. But Atlas approaches. And come what may, I will not be made a slave. I wonder, in recording, do I confess? Just now, Sinclair saw me in the corridor, perhaps reading my face. The bastard looked me right in the eye and suggested I make an appointment with Dr. Lamb.
There's one of Alpha many. That's an Alpha Series one. And just so you know, it's Alpha. I don't like you kind around here. What the hell just happened? It looks like I hit a glitch. Some kind of weird, annoying thing where the controls for some kind of reason just decided to freeze over. Why? I don't know. But it did happen. Yep. And that was just in case. So I am now returning to the place. And, well, Sofia Lamb is crazy. Nothing less about her than the fact that she's crazy. Wants to create some sort of messiah. And those are usually completely selfless messiah. Real nice plan, yes, indeed. If it could be even theoretically plausible to do. Which it ain't. You don't need to be a expert on psychology to notice that, and she reportedly is that. So how in hell? I don't like you, Alpha Series bugger, trying to cause me annoyance. And of course there's also the fact that there's just so much of these splicers running about. It's something like that. Once I always return to whatever place I arrive to, there's a new batch of splicers just lurking behind the corridor, eager to murder me. You should give up. Of course, it's nice if you can belonging to some sort of community, that or you feel like that. Nothing wrong with that. But when that community is something like a xenophobic insanity, there's a problem. There will be problems.
We put our eldest sister through a new regimen of physical and mental conditioning and suited her up with modified protector equipment of my design. The younger ones have dubbed her a big sister. Sadly, this is a stopgap. Between rogue splicers and the aging of the girls, we'll run out of viable little sisters soon. After that, the surface may be our only source.
Oh yeah, of course. No sane people capable of breeding in the basic scientific sense. So, no new little sisters. And I wonder, are the little sisters only actual source for the atom, or can't they actually procure them from other methods as well?
No, the atom, Daddy? Over there.
But it looks like there's some sort of resurrection system for the alpha corpses around here. I don't like that. I really would like that there would be some sort of method to just go all dead space on the enemies and stomp them to death, stomp them until they are made into something resembling mincemeat.
Rusty tumors hiding from the
But time to, of course, I buy some stuff.
Atom, Daddy. Over there.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that was not it. I had already eaten that one. Or actually not eaten. Gathered is the fancy word. Yeah, there he is. But time to save and put the little sister to work. After mashing him to bits. Oh yeah, saving, gathering, doing some research. Ah, that was the gathering done, and let's now send her on her way. Nice, Dr. Tenenbaum. We'll take care of you.
The girls are whispering, Father. They've left you a present at the Gatherer's Garden. Take it.
And little sister saved, and judging by the screaming, big sisters are arriving. But I still... oh... yeah, they are... they are actually very intimidating, frightening as they... that... and when you look at it, what they are, former little sisters now made into horrifying Damn, it looks like they are becoming stronger and meaner than before. And that's quite clear. But of course, and as you could see that the big sister is something like a that if the little sisters are not treated, they become big sisters, which are made into big sisters, just because they are just horrifyingly, violently berserk. Yeah, and it still tells something that of all the fucked up things in Rapture, they are perhaps the most fucked up. They are most likely in quite severe pain, just because. Well, Eleanor Lamb was made back into human from little sister, and Tenenbaum is using that process. And she doesn't remember much, but I don't think former big little sisters would be happy. Well, still, gotta save and then see what's happening next. No, there's one of the little sisters. Well, she gave me lots of gifts. And Electabot 3, mostly because I'm using it a lot.
Every bolt hits more than one foe. Charge up to blast them with a deadly storm.
Well, I've mostly used it at the regular stage, so not so big thing. Lots of handy stuff, and apparently no way to buy any more of the handy stuff, but well, let's just buy a few of these. Short circuits number 2, shorten alarms, and replace the shorten alarms number 1. Cure all, just because, hey. Oh no. Doesn't matter. Incinerate number 2.
Now you're cooking. Charge up for an explosive blast.
Oh yeah, I'm really cooking. And Winter Blast, well, Winter Blast. Storing the G-Bank and Cyclone Trap. Just because, hey. And looks like I can't afford to buy much of anything else either. So they can be. So.
Deep sea life catchment system online.
I hope there's nothing in a boss fight.
Subject Delta is hereby dismissed. Escort them from the premises!
I don't want it. I can't resist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's lots of disaster happening. Oh. Yeah, you go down as well. More of there's more Alpha Series corpses. Bring out the... Fucking Houdinis! They are annoying! That's quite funny. Oh, did I have 2 Eve savers? That doesn't matter.
How dare you try to buy me out with this bribe, this penance, this sublime... God damn you, Delta!
Perfect, son. You reeled him in. Now, use that console there to take a gene sample. It should print up a genetic key automatically.
Alright, where's the console? Extract the key. It's the same machine. And I guess... Oh, it's...
The key is all ready. Go on and take it.
Oh yeah, now I got it.
You got the key to Lamb's hideout, sport. Eleanor's down there. Now just head out to the oxyfill station and use it.
It is done. The sample disposal button on the panel in front of you will administer a massive jolt of electricity to the tank. More than enough to kill me. Whatever I may say to dissuade you, do not listen. The man whose voice you hear now is long gone. As my mind fades, I find my thoughts turn to the suffering that Eleanor will be made to endure, and I am overcome with pity. But I can only offer my feeble prayers. Perhaps after my death, you can do more. Now, please, I ask you to grant me peace. Goodbye, my friend, and thank you.
He wanted death, so I will grant him that. Now I can see it. In what was left of it. It wasn't pretty. Perhaps because whatever state he was in, it was not the right way to be. Being horribly deformed monster. as some kind of remnant. Maybe he...
This is the Oxyphil station, Chief. But don't be fooled by the facade. This is the way in. Use that key now.
Oh yeah. Pass door, pass keys. And I found your hideout, Lamb. If you were something not horrifyingly sociopathic woman, absolutely uncaring about anything, she would know why Delta keeps going.
Eleanor's condition may be a blessing in disguise. Early splicing tests indicate 0 genetic damage due to her condition as a little sister. It appears that she is our new vessel. This will be no mere personality schism, though. Rapture's genius will be held within her DNA, able to shift into desired patterns at will. A utopian cannot be confined to a single throw of the genetic dice. When needed, she is a composer, a dancer, an engineer. She truly will be the people's daughter.
Oh, Lamb is crazy. Crazy in manners you don't even want to think about. And it's time to end this episode right here. See you next time. See ya.